Dude, this whole Jimmy Kimmel situation is absolutely nuts. Like, what is going on? I don't even care. I just like to watch this whole chaotic situation unfold. Defiant, emotional Jimmy Kimmel returns to the airwaves as Trump bashes ABC for bringing not funny late night host back. Like, what? Why? Why is this a thing? Why is he not just completely canceled? It is totally for political reasons. Because this dude, the show actually was failing. They are losing millions on this show. But there's nothing that they're able to do about it. They just kind of have to keep it up. And it's going to be record-breaking. It's going to pull record-breaking numbers for like a week, maybe two. And then it's going to fall right back into the same 100,000 viewers that they were getting. And I don't know why. I don't know why this is such a big deal. I think I know why. I think it has something to do with who is invested in all of these things. BlackRock, Vanguard. Seriously, look it up. The connection's crazy.
Jimmy Kimmel has returned to the airwaves last night with a long opening monologue where he did not apologize. In fact, he framed himself as the victim.
Did you really think that he would? No, we knew he wouldn't. We knew that he was going to double down. I saw people talking about it, like predicting what he was going to say.
He said his intention was never to make light of a young man who was murdered, and he choked up as he did it. However...
Oh, yeah, he choked up? He choked up? Really?
He then goes on to say that the Trump administration is trying to silence him. He was the victim of this pressure campaign. And in fact, the shooter represented no group and had no motivating ideology. Holy crap. Ladies and gentlemen, this country is on the verge of bursting at the seams, or it literally is. We stand on the precipice, and I don't even know if that's figurative anymore. Like, we're free falling, right? This morning, there was a sniper in Dallas who shot 3 people in a ICE facility. I believe it was detainees. Holy crap. What? Why are we turning on the news to stories like this? An ABC affiliate in California was shot up by some Democrat guy who was motivated by the Jimmy Kimmel suspension. And then several stations, ABC affiliates, received terroristic threats.
How about it? Yeah, they crumbled. Disney, Sinclair, they crumbled under the pressure. And guess what? If you allow these freaks to scare you like this and you crumble under that pressure, they're going to realize that it works and they're going to keep doing it. It's just going to get worse.
They were going to air the Charlie Kirk memorial. This country is on edge. And what we desperately needed last night was a simple, and I genuinely mean this, I'm sorry. That's it from Jimmy Kimmel. That's
yeah, but did you really think that we were going to get that?
Kind of remarkable that he can't even do it. Reporting last night was that staff behind the scenes threatened to walk off the show if he said anything that would be deemed close to an apology. That's the degree of insanity in this country. And it's fascinating to me that the right would literally just be satisfied if Jimmy Kimmel said, guys, I'm sorry about that. That wasn't my intention. Now, Jimmy Kimmel did say...
Yeah, where do you think this is going to lead, huh? Where do you think this is going to lead? Where his staff threatens to walk out over lies and manipulations? Like, where do you think this leads? It's getting super obvious what's going on with the evil versus good, man. It's really easy to see who the evil people are and who the good people are nowadays.
Hey, it was never my intention to make light of a young man who was murdered. And he said, I sent a message, and I really mean it. And that is, it's almost there. But you couldn't just say, I apologize. It's literally just those two words. I apologize for that. It wasn't my intention. And I really thought for a second watching his monologue he was going to do it. And then, ladies and gentlemen, he doubles down attacking Trump and Trump supporters. I'm at a loss for words. At a time when we...
I know exactly what to say. This dude is an evil piece of garbage, and he sold his soul to Satan. That's why he has the spot that he has. That's why he's able to keep going.
Literally just needed him to be like, let's make a joke about something else. He literally says he's being threatened with being taken off the air and his staff losing all their jobs because Trump can't take a joke.
He's being threatened that his staff is going to be fired, but also his staff threatened to walk away. Obviously, they don't care about the job that much if they're willing to walk away over something as fucking retarded as that. Like, get rid of them. These people are destroying your companies. And it's just a matter of time before everything crumbles.
Guys, I don't really care all that much about Jimmy Kimmel, to be completely honest. But I can
it's not Jimmy Kimmel that's the problem here. He's like the poster boy of the problem.
See the effect this is having on the political structures, the social structures in our country. Perhaps it's foolish to even think that Jimmy Kimmel could make a statement that would do anything, and he makes that point. But holy crap, I'm going to play the monologues for you, and then I'm going to break down all of the lies. This is crazy where we are at. The fact that he frames this as...
Oh boy, man, it's going to get worse. It's going to get so much worse than you could ever imagine.
As though Trump got him pulled off the air because Trump was offended over his jokes is absolutely insane. The issue here was that advertisers and affiliates were... I'm not going to waste time for you guys. I know that there's many of you who may not be aware of what's going on, but here's the Wall Street Journal reporting from September 18th. Advertisers and affiliates soon called the network expressing concern about Kimmel's show. Executives at Sinclair and Nexstar, owners of more than 60 affiliate stations, told network leaders after Carr's remarks that they would indefinitely preempt the show. Now, I'm going to pause real quick. After Carr's remarks, the important thing to understand is that is a literary device, not a fact-based statement. They are not saying that Carr called anybody. I do think it's fair to say that the FCC played a role to a certain degree. But the advertisers, this makes no sense. More importantly, the Hollywood Reporter reported this. A source tells the Hollywood Reporter Kimmel was prepared to address the backlash Wednesday. He planned to explain. When asked, the source said he was not planning on apologizing. He felt that what he said did not require an apology. They go on to then say that Bob Iger, this is a Wall Street Journal again, and Dana Walden were concerned it was going to make things worse. And they had spoken to him.
He's going to make things worse? Really? Did it not just make everything so much worse? It did. These people are fucking stupid, man.
They said the approach would make it worse. People familiar with the conversation said. Executives also discussed staff safety.
Oh, they really made it worse. They weren't trying to make it worse, but they made it so much worse.
Safety, including threatening emails the show had received. Now, that's never okay. But according to the reporting, the FCC did not make any direct threats, did not have any direct contact with advertisers or affiliates.
Do you know why you don't negotiate with Terry's? You don't negotiate with Terry's because if they realize that you will break and that you have a price that you're willing to pay, then they do the thing even more and more and more, and then you have to deal with more and more Terry's. No, you do not fall under the pressure. Report these people and have them investigate.
Now, certainly many people have chosen to frame it that way.
But the left, they really have this thing where they don't believe in criminals. The only criminals are the people that they don't like. Anybody else that's an actual criminal, but they, fit their agenda, they like those. Those aren't real criminals. We could use them for votes and for destroying cities because they're more likely to go crazy and destroy cities for fun. I hate all this. I hate it. I'm so done with it. I'm so done with all of the world.
Well, here's I'm not going to play the full monologue, which actually is quite long, but I'll play the key snippets.
I don't think what I have to say is going to make much of a difference. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. I have no illusions about changing anyone's mind. But I do want to make something clear because it's important to me as a human, and that is you understand that it was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man.
The murder of a young man. So sad. Don't give me none of that fake bullshit. Come on. Come on.
I don't think there's anything funny about it.
It's crazy that his audience claps when he chokes up. Like that's a good thing that he's crying about this situation. He feels it's so insane.
I posted a message on Instagram on the day he was killed, sending love to his family and asking for compassion, and I meant it, and I still do. Nor was it my intention to blame any specific group for the actions of what it was obviously a deeply disturbed individual. That was really the opposite of the point I was trying to make. But I understand that to some that felt either ill-timed or unclear, or maybe both. And for those who think I did point a finger, I get why you're upset. If the situation was reversed, there's a good chance I'd have felt the same way.
I genuinely thought he was going to say, for those that thought that, I am sorry. He didn't do it. And, you know, I'm going to say this, guys. He's dancing on the edge.
Yep.
He almost apologized, but here's the issue, is that people genuinely just wanted to say, guys, I'm sorry about that. That was not my intention. And he could have done it, but according, let me just pull up the story.
He could have done it, but he's a massive pussy. And a bunch of people are going to lose their jobs. You mean a bunch of people are going to quit because they're upset because they were lied to and manipulated and they don't realize it.
I could show you.
Or maybe they do and they just don't care and they're that fucking evil.
Because I got to show you the sources.
Which at this point, you know, I don't put it past them.
This is from Y Entertainment. They say that chaos erupted. Staff were left out of the decision-making process. Executive producers have reportedly clamped down, ordering team members not to discuss the monologue, which is expected to draw millions. The secrecy has only heightened tensions, with one insider saying an apology could be viewed as a betrayal. No one knows what Jimmy's going to say, the source told the outlet, but there are rumblings that if he apologizes, there will be a walkout. If he grovels or falls...
He should have fucking let it happen. If they're going to be that big of fucking pussies that they're just going to destroy the entire show, let them. Hire new people.
...falls on his sword. That's actually a betrayal of all of us.
I have many friends and family members...
They're in a fucking cult, man. They actually are. This is crazy.
...on the other side who I love and remain close to, even though we don't agree on politics.
Why is he choked up? Why is he crying like that? It, like, even if he is actually feeling these feelings, hold it back, man. Hold it back. Because it comes off as fake as fuck. Because every celebrity cries on TV whenever they get in trouble, whenever something happens. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to see it. And you didn't even apologize, so it was for nothing.
I don't think the murderer who shot Charlie Kirk represents anyone. This was a sick person who believed violence was a solution, and it isn't.
So this is where I don't even know how to do this anymore, guys. I got to be completely honest. The left celebrated Charlie Kirk's murder. Jimmy Kimmel. We are a broken country. The reason why a simple I'm sorry mattered is because after Charlie Kirk died, all across social media, people were posting in glee, celebrating. Man in the street interviews, saying it was...
He could have even shifted the blame, because really, I don't think it was his fault. I think he was reading what was being reported, or somebody was telling him what to say. And at the time, there was a lot of places reporting that the Tyler guy was MAGA. So he could have just been like, well, no, look at these articles that said this. This is what I was going off of. I just wasn't updated. My bad. That's all he had to do. He didn't even really have to apologize. But you can't blame people on your own side for bad things. Everybody on the left is perfect. Absolutely perfect.
It was a good thing. Run-of-the-mill liberals were posting on Facebook saying, good, Charlie deserved it. I got a message yesterday from... I'm
so glad that nobody that I know personally said anything bad about Charlie Kirk. The people who I think probably had some bad thoughts about Charlie Kirk just didn't say anything.
I try to keep people's names out of this stuff. Let's call it a prominent individual in their industry who said they were shocked to find that people they had known for their whole life were celebrating Charlie Kirk's death.
Yep, I do know people who have known people their entire lives who did that. I just personally don't know anybody.
Defying it. Jimmy Kimmel saying that he represents no one is the terrifying reality. And it's why
There's a lady that I go to church with who's married to a black dude. She's a white woman, married to a black dude, has half black kids. They look black. They don't look half black. And because she is standing with Charlie Kirk, her mother-in-law, the black mother-in-law, calls her racist. Crazy, right? The one married to a black man with black children is a racist. Okay.
We are so angry because this guy did represent these people. That's what is terrifying. And that's what we want to cool down from. We can't, though. The other day on ChatGPT, and you know what I think I'll do? I think I'll do a segment for this on youtube.com/@TimPool. Please subscribe to the new channel. I asked ChatGPT how many conservative Trump supporters committed a political attack in the past 5 years. It said 14. Or no, I think it said, what did it say, 9? It said 9. 9 attacks by the far right and Trump supporters.
Let me guess, 0? Are you going to say 0 from the left?
And I responded with, I didn't ask you about the far right. It immediately responded with 0. 0 attacks from Trump. What? Then I asked.
Yeah, because it's controlled by the left. It's not going to say anything bad about the left. The left cannot say anything bad about the left.
How many attacks were carried out by...
Everybody on the left is perfect.
Carried out by leftist individuals, and it said 0. And I said, but Charlie Kirk was just murdered. And it said, well, I guess if you count that, 1. And I said, but an ABC station was just shut up. And it goes, okay, I guess if you count that, 2. And I was like, I mean, the George Floyd riots, come on. The shooting of Aaron Danielson. He goes, okay, fine, 3 and 4. And I'm like, the George Floyd riots is 1? This is the problem. These people will not stop. Now, look, there are a lot of people that are telling me to shut up. And there are prominent individuals that are these moderate centrist types that are buckling at the knee and saying, just give in. I would rather have everything I know taken from me.
I'd rather die.
And I would live in a van down by the woods before I ever stop pointing these things out. And
I literally already do that. I live in a van in the woods, kind of.
We cannot function in a nation like this. But I'll get to that. There's more to say, but let me show you more of what Jimmy Kimmel had to say.
I want to thank the people who don't support my show and what I believe, but support my right to share those beliefs anyway.
What beliefs? This isn't about a belief. I believe that MAGA was behind this. That's not how that works, bro. That's not how that works. You were saying MAGA was behind this. MAGA caused this. You're not saying that you believe that. You literally said it like it was fact.
Oh, I never would have imagined. Like Ben Shapiro, Clay Travis, Candace Owens, Mitch McConnell, Rand Paul, even my old pal Ted Cruz.
I don't care for the joke he's about to make, but the point was that he was highlighting many on the right that were saying the FCC shouldn't be involved in taking him down, which it wasn't. And this is the most egregious.
It shouldn't, and it wasn't. Like, look into the situation. The FCC, they made a comment about it, but they didn't do anything. This is what 1,000% from advertiser. Follow the money. Every time with these situations, just follow the money. Wherever the money trail ends, that's usually who's responsible for this shit. And you know where the money trail ends? Do you know where it ends with this? It ends with BlackRock and Vanguard. I'm not even shitting you. Look it up. They're invested in Sinclair, biggest investors in Sinclair, biggest investors in Disney, biggest investors in like all of the social media companies. ABC. I mean, obviously, if they're going to be invested in Sinclair and Disney and ABC, and then YouTube, Google, Alphabet, you know, biggest advertisers in the world. It's just like, come on, man. Follow the money trail. Who's behind this? The people who control the money.
Clip. His monologue was a half an hour long. Okay, so I won't play the full thing because I can't, but listen to this.
The President of the United States made it very clear he wants to see me and the hundreds of people who work here fired from our jobs. Our leader...
Okay, so what? So what if he wants to see that? He's not doing that. He just said that, what, does President not have free speech now? Because he said that somebody should shut you down. He didn't say, hey, Jim Jordan or whoever, I'm just saying a name, shut this guy down. He didn't say that. Maybe if he says, hey, Jim Jordan, you should shut this guy down. He's not saying, Jim Jordan, shut this guy down.
Celebrates Americans losing their livelihoods because he can't take a joke.
Let's just pause real quick. And this is the inflamed tensions. Let us break this down and clarify.
More Trump bad. It was all his fault. Everything bad that happens to me is Trump.
dispersed. Donald Trump appears to have had nothing to do with the taking down of Jimmy Kimmel. In fact, Trump probably didn't even know about it until well after it happened.
True. I don't even care. I really don't. I'm done with these people, man. I'm sick of it. Even if Trump does go after him. Like, I don't want that to be happening, but I ain't going to cry about it.
The FCC statement, Brendan Carr on Benny Johnson's show, appears to have played a minimal role. I think it's...
Yeah, especially pisses me off when these people are like, oh, Trump's taking me down. When YouTube just came out and said the Biden administration was forcing them to censor people and ban people, even though it didn't violate YouTube's policies. Like, miss me with this shit, man.
Let me just clarify. It's opinion speculation because one thing we do know is that Brendan Carr never made any direct contact with Nexstar or Sinclair or any advertisers and told them to make these moves. He did say that these networks need to be brought in line and there are certain things that affiliates can do. Then we did see affiliates and advertisers say we have concerns about the comments made by Jimmy Kimmel. I don't think Brendan Carr, he's the comedian. I don't think Brendan Carr's comments were the principal factor in this. Market backlash was. I think it'd be stupid to ignore the comments from the FCC and the pressure it applied. Don't get me wrong. But the principal reason, according to the Wall Street Journal and the Hollywood Reporter and all the reporting, is that advertisers and affiliates were angry. Nothing has changed. The affiliates are still angry. Sinclair said the temperature needs to be brought down. The issue is that the markets Sinclair serves are largely suburban right-leaning, and they're pissed. You know, it's funny. I couldn't even watch it last night. This is what I got. I went on streaming services. Guys, it's not just that Sinclair and Nexstar own the broadcasting rights. They own streaming rights as well. So during Jimmy Kimmel's show, it was a dead graphic that said special edition. Shout out to ABC7 DC. I couldn't even watch the show live. But this is where we are right now. Trump can't take a joke. I'm going to pause. Trump did not direct Brendan Carr. The issue is that what you said was not a joke. The issue is you insinuated that the man who killed Charlie Kirk was a Trump supporter as the setup for a joke that I think was also very insulting at a time of grieving, and Joe Rogan defended as a very funny joke. I'll play the rest.
Did he really?
Somehow able to squeeze Colbert out of CBS.
No, he wasn't. This is crazy. Colbert's losing $40 million per year.
Yeah, it's like they're living in a completely separate reality. Holy shit. I cannot believe he actually said that. But honestly, I can. Just, you know, we're in backwards clown reality, which I think is the real reality, unfortunately. I think this is probably the main timeline and probably the only timeline. And it sucks. It's fucking insane. We talked about for so long what happened to Stephen Colbert. And this person just comes out and is like, oh, Trump took out Stephen Colbert somehow. And then the left is just going to run with it and believe it. Fucking insane, dude. These people are evil fucking liars. I've got nothing else to say. I don't know what else to say. Seek the Lord, I guess. Yeah, seek the Lord. That's what I gotta say. If you seek him, you will find him. He's waiting for you. He wants you to find him. Because he's not lost. You are. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell for all notifications. I got this video linked down there in the description if you want to check out the rest of it. I think I pretty much got the gist of what's going on, though. This dude is an evil freak. Owned by even more evil freaks. And they're all a collective. They're in a cult. That's all I got for this one. See you in the next one.